Takes just a minute. There's a little bit of a delay to it.
You're live.
That's, can you check it?
Well, there's a
Little delay.
yeah, there's a lag, but you're live. Yeah, it's up and on.
It's still, can you double check that? Grab that. Let's set that. Okay, Alex, I think we are, there it is. It's pulled up. Thanks.
You get to watch yourself.
Okay, Alex, we are ready for our meeting. We're ready to start Tuesday, April 21st, our 9 o'clock ROD meeting. I guess we will call the meeting to order. And second is to approve the agenda items. Is there anything that you need to add to the agenda items, Alex?
No, they're good to go.
Board members, is there anything that any of you would like to request to edit or add to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion? If you could, when you make a motion, if you could say your name when you make the motion, that way those that are listening can hear who made each motion, that would be appreciated. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
We'll catch a motion to approve agenda as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Ketchum. Do I have a second?
Brandon Roders, second.
Thank you, Mr. Roeder. So we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion carries, Alex. Moving on to agenda item number 3, consent items. First one is approval of the minutes for the March 19, 2020 ROD board meeting. You have the minutes included in your packet that were sent to you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
This is Jane Rogers, so moved.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Do I have a second?
This is Rob, I'll second.
Mr. Moorhead, second the motion. Thank you. Are there any edits or revisions that need to be made to the March 19th minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, motion carries, Alex. Moving on, review of financial report and approval of claims for payment. I'm going to turn it over. I know Marcia and Alex, I'll turn it over to the two of you to first review the financial report.
Okay, so the federal reimbursement request, I emailed that to you yesterday, along with the claims report and the vouchers. And as I mentioned at our last meeting, the FY 2020 preschool grant has been extended. The final reimbursement has been received. And I was getting ready to do the final report the other day, and DOE no longer requires that. So just if you want to let your treasurers know that they won't be getting a final report on that, on the grant from here on out. On the claims, we received an invoice yesterday for the deductible for the complaint that was filed back in November in the amount of $10,000. So that was the only claim that was different than what would normally come for a regular meeting.
Thank you, Marcia. Are there specific questions on the financial report for Marcia or Alex?
And just to clarify, there was a due process, not a complaint.
Are there any other questions? Thanks for clarification. Questions for Marcia or Alex on the financial report?
I have a question on that due process. Was that the one from some of your warrant?
Yes.
Don't we split the deductible, or we both of us have to pay that deductible, or?
They processed it all on ours,
Okay.
so that way we don't.
You know, those for half that, I guess.
Well, we typically just paid those.
Okay.
Okay,
that's fine.
I think we talked about, I think there's an amount that we went up to, wasn't it, Alex? I think a few years ago, we set like an amount that Rod would cover before it would then be kind of split.
Yeah, I think it was like 30,000 or something. And that wasn't just on the attorney reimbursements, that was for the total cost.
Okay, a good question, Andrew. Others for either of them? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the claims for payment?
Brandon Roder makes motion.
Thank you, Mr. Roder. Do I have a second on claims?
We'll catch him second.
Thank you, Mr. Ketchum. Having motion and a second, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the claims for payment, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing no one opposed, motion carries for approval of claims. That moves us to action items, personnel update. Alex?
A recommendation to hire Kaylee Abels, school psychologist. Kaylee's an intern with us currently, and I guess we're able to make her a full school psychologist.
Having heard Alex's motion for Kaylee, who is currently an intern, to become full-time next year, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Moorhead. Do I have a second?
Eric Lowe, second.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe's. Questions for Alex on personnel of Kaylee? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, then approval carries. Do you have other personnel updates, Alex?
No, that's it for personnel items.
Okay, moving on, COVID-19 resolution for operations. Alex?
This is the resolution to authorize me to make such changes to pay benefits and leave policies as prudent to assist employees who suffer financial hardships as a result of circumstances directly related to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I can give an update as far as what we've already done. I mean, this is a quickly evolving thing, but I do have a informational item later to go through that. I don't know if we want to talk about how Rod is responding or not, but this is the resolution.
That's fine. If you want to share, that way we're all aware of how you are having your staff work, because it kind of goes along with the resolution. Go ahead.
So, and I know we talked about this a little bit at the last board meeting, but Rod is, we're here every day, Monday through Friday. Our office hours are 9 to 3, and our staff is working. I'll give an update on the kinds of things that we're doing to support our students with disabilities towards in the discussion, but that's the schedule. As we get some more feedback on the restrictions coming in May, our plan will come into a little bit clearer, but at the moment, what my plan is within those last 2, possibly 3 weeks of May, to stagger staff's last work day to come in, turn in equipment, and then pack up their offices. And we'll probably use the school assignments that they have to help with scheduling that. That way we can get people into the office to get what they need to in preparation of just ending the year, and then also looking forward to our move, but also then not having 40 people all in the office. So we're going to be looking at staggering those into dates.
Okay, thank you for that update, Alex. So if anyone did need to get a hold of the Rod offices, as you said, 9 to 3, Monday through Fridays. Someone is in the office if someone needed to reach out to the Rod offices.
Right. And I guess I should say too, so we're everybody else is working from home. And we keep just myself or Marcia and Karen, three of us are keeping the office open in those times. So we have a mailbox too, so if people call after hours, they just leave a message and we will make sure it gets to the right person.
Okay, great, thanks. I just wanted for those that may be watching, that way they know they do have the ability to reach out to Rod by phone or email, and people are responding to those.
Right.
Great. Questions for Alex on kind of the current staff working? Hearing none, included in your packet was a copy of the resolution that is similar to many of school corporations, myself, that had passed the resolution allowing Alex and Rod to continue payment of all their staff through the remainder of the school year. Do I have a motion to pass that resolution?
Rob, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Moorhead. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Middleton. So we have a second, we have a first and a second on the COVID-19 resolution for operations. All those in favor, do you have any questions or clarification for Alex? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, no opposition. Alex passes. Moving on, informational items, Rod services during the school closure updates. I think that kind of, you just kind of shared that information with us, Alex. Do you have anything additional to add?
Kind of a good, just continue a little. I want to give, I don't know, shout out or say a thank you to all of my staff who have just been so flexible, so willing to take on some new things. Obviously, as all of your teachers have as well, I've been really impressed. Just want to give a kind of a rundown of some of the things that our staff has been doing so far. So all of our teachers who keep a case of our blind, low vision, deaf, hard of hearing, orthopedic impairment, our OTs, PTs, social workers, they have done an amazing job of reaching out to teachers to be supportive, to continue providing services to parents, to finalize a lot of new IEPs, because that's some guidance we gave, and that also is something to really say thank you to all the teachers and all of our that we work with, that we've had a lot of IEPs that had to get finalized because nobody had anything in their IEPs to deal with the prolonged school closure. So those folks have done an amazing job being flexible in terms of school deliveries and direct services, providing consultative supports at home or to the teachers as they're working through things. Even our behavioral consultants are helping parents implement behavior plans at home, helping teachers as they're trying to work remotely with kids and keeping them on a schedule. So our kids thrive on that routine, and they need it. And all of our staff are really, as much as we can, keeping things as normal as possible. That's what we've been trying to do, keep it as close to normal as possible. I also want to really point out to our consultants and our assistant directors. We've been using a program called Blue Ink. When we're working remotely, it's hard to get signatures on all of these IEPs. Now, we don't need them on all the IEPs because a regular rendition without a meeting doesn't need a signature, but we have a lot of annuals. We're still processing requests for different things that require parent permission. And so we've used a program called Blue Ink, which allows us to get that signature remotely, and we process, I think, we're probably up to 200 signatures. So our staff has been making that as easy as we can for our teachers, that they send their document they need signed to consultant or to the assistant directors, and then we're taking care of getting that from the parents. And this is one of those maybe silver lining things that I think will not use it to the extent we are now, but we're able to get parent responses. Even now, we would struggle to get parent responses when we would send things home just for paper. So I think this is one thing that we will not totally get rid of. I think that's something we're reflecting on as we're going through this. Is where are some things where we could grow, and I think that's one. So they're working pretty hard, and we're not going to use this as a standard operating procedure in the future. But I think as that parent's really difficult to get a hold of, we can send them this through a text message. They can open the document on their cell phone. They can scroll through. They can use their finger to sign, give us permission, and everything. So that's really. This is one of those things where they're busy doing these blue ink signatures, but it's also been a real benefit. So that's the consultants and admins at our sites and all of our evaluators. We are working as much as we can to get as much done remotely as we can. There will be a good backlog of kids who will need that face-to-face in the fall. But our goal is to get as much done on cases, even if we can, finalize them, so that when we get back in the fall, hopefully back in the fall, that we can get those wrapped up as quickly as we can, because I think there's going to be another increase in needs from us when the fall comes. That's a quick kind of go through summary of all of what our staff have been doing. I've probably forgotten a few things. I know that I want to give a special thank you to Marcia and to Karen, who are coming into the office. They are the hands in some ways of all of our staff who are working remotely, and I know that they are working really hard. So they really deserve some praise and appreciation. So that's kind of the quick go through of what our staff has been doing. So if you all have any good questions, I'd be happy to answer some.
I think
I just wanted to shout out also to all of the teachers. As you said, we've received a lot of IEPs. I've actually logged in over 1,000 so far in just this past 3 weeks. So the teachers are working very hard to get this done. So I appreciate it.
And I think I speak on behalf of the entire board that we do thank Alex, I know you, Brooke, Missy, Karen, Marcia, and the entire ROD staff that are out there in our buildings, helping our teachers, reaching out to them. So I think on behalf of the entire board, please share our thanks to the entire ROD staff. I know that each one of us have complimented our staffs. Our staffs and each one of our school corporations have gone above and beyond during this time to try and make those connections with families, students, and our staff. So on behalf of everyone, thank you to the entire staff. Anybody have anything that they wanted to share at this time on that update? Okay, we will move on to the next one. Is a preschool update. I know Marcia emailed out yesterday to everyone our preschool list. It even had highlighted in yellow those that would be moving on to kindergarten next year. Are there any questions for Marcia or Alex about your preschool list?
Marcia, this is Brandon over. I just wanted to ask a question on my possible preschool placement. That address is out of our district, and I'll just want to check on that.
Okay, I will have to ask you, Vonda, to check on that. So is it a Switzerland County student then? Is that?
Yeah, we have some. It's right on the borderline, but it's across the line, probably about 2 or 3 miles. So just if you wouldn't mind checking on that, let me know.
All right, I'll check on that and get back with you.
Thank you.
Other questions for either of
Vonda
them?
also wanted me to let you know that she has 7 first step students that she doesn't have turned in. She does have 5 of those students scheduled for the evaluation, but is waiting to put anything on there until she has that information.
Okay, thanks, Marcia. Anyone have questions for Marcia or Alex on your preschool list? Okay, hearing none, then we'll move on to discussion items. Staff evaluations for ROD teachers. Alex, I know you included in our packet the information we talked about, and all superintendents have been talking about over the past week, looking at the different options, option 1, option 2, that the Department of Ed, and last week, Dr. Jennifer McCormick reviewed in her weekly update as well. But do you want to talk about that, Alex?
Yeah, I wanted to give the board a chance to weigh in, or at least hear what Rod was planning. So option 1 is the continue to do the evaluation. Option 2 is to use last year's evaluation. My thinking is that, and we talked about this with our discussion team, to use option 2, but then if there were people who thought that option 1 were a better fit for them, then we would give that make option 1 an option, I guess. So that was what our plan was, and I wanted to let you know and get some feedback.
Maybe why don't we take just a minute and we'll allow each kind of superintendent to kind of share if they have talked about a plan currently. I know for Lawrenceburg, we are using option 2, but giving staff, if they believe option 1 is better for them, we're kind of doing the whole harm list that they would have, the option of choosing option 1 if they feel it's better. So that's for Lawrenceburg. Ryan, do you want to go next and share Jacksonville?
Sure, we're going to do the same thing that you're doing, mimicking that same kind of platform. We are also with the new teachers. We told them all that we're more than willing to work with anyone at this point and try to assess as early as possible. Obviously, we're not here to get everybody highly effective, but we do want to be respectful of just the year being an odd year, specifically for first-year teachers. So yeah, we're doing basically the same platform you are.
Rob?
Yeah, Carl, I think we're going to do the same. I have not discussed it yet. We're working on getting to that, but I think we'll be using option 2 with the option for teachers to take this year's if they prefer. So very similar to what you described.
Thank you. Paul?
Yeah, similar to option 2, we've shared that informal discussion with our association, and I don't see why option 2 would be the best fit. The only caveat I mentioned is first-year teachers or teachers within the corporation would have to utilize option 1. So option 2 for Batesville schools.
Thank you. Andrew?
We're using option 2. We just discussed it with the association yesterday. So we're doing option 2, and then caveat on there that there's someone without evaluation from last year.
Thank you. Brandon?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing, option 2, that we talked on Friday with the association and their agreement.
Thank you. Jane?
Mila is using option 2, and we discussed it, and same as the rest of you.
Thank you. Eric?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing as everyone else. We have our regular board meeting tonight, and then obviously y'all want the association to do that after, but it's going to be the same as what everyone else does.
Okay, thank you. So it appears most school corporations, Alex, I heard all saying option 2 with the caveat that kind of the whole harm list, if they feel like this year is going to be better, they can do that. If they have something from another district in Indiana from last year, they can utilize that. Or first-year teachers would have to we would work with them doing option 1. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Wonderful. Moving on then to the next item, ROD office relocation update. I know there was just some information I sent out to everyone yesterday with some of the plans and more updated information. We had kind of hoped that the estimated pricing might come in lower than what it is kind of showing. Therefore, because it is over 150, it will need to go out to formal bidding. So because of that, I know that South Dearborn, Eric, Chris might be on here, that they have a board meeting tonight. That way they can approve that at their meeting tonight so that it can hit the papers and start going out tomorrow for advertisement. That does kind of then push things back potentially, depending upon how quickly the contractors get in there after the bid is awarded. But it could push it back to more of the end of July, finishing everything up. I know Andrew kind of expressed concern because they need to get in there as of July 1. Alex did say he was okay with that we would be able to get everything out of the ROD area by July 1. And Chris and Eric mentioned to Alex that they would provide some space within Aurora Elementary just to be able to kind of store things until it can be moved into that wing of the school when it's finished. So I think that's kind of a little bit of an update. Alex, is anything that you would want to add to that?
Well, I know Chris is on the line. Chris and I talked yesterday, and I think he and I are Chris may come over to Rod and we may look through what we have that needs to get moved, so then we can identify a space. Kind of joke a little that we're getting good at this working from home business, and so maybe we'll be doing a little bit more of that this summer. But that's the only thing I'd add. Chris, I don't know if you had it.
Not really. Outside of, I didn't expect the bids to come in as high as, or the initial quote to come in as high. That's why I think at this point it's prudent for everybody to move forward with an open bid process, because obviously we want to keep the cost as low as possible throughout this type of project. That was the overall goal, and I know we were trying to hit below that 150 mark for the overall final product, but it looks like it's probably going to come in between the 170 to 200 range for everything. It is what I would estimate as being a final bid process. But we'll see if we go through the public bid. I did reach out to Terry Landry yesterday. We had a good conversation. I did send that proposed timeline, and he seems to think we can hit that timeline without any issues at all. So I know the engineers were down about a week and a half ago. I took them around. I've been in constant contact with Jackie Lang, who's the head architect for Lancaster and Beebe on this project, putting together a lot of information with her. So I think through this process, I think this is probably the most prudent way, like I said earlier, to go to make sure that we're getting the lowest possible bid moving forward. And Alex and I did talk yesterday, and I do want to go up and look to see just how much furniture, how much equipment we're talking about, and kind of that way we can gear towards how much storage space we need to have for him here, available here. He also mentioned to me about having at least 5 office spaces to be working out of, especially during the month of July until the project is completed. So we will work around here to provide that for those 5 individuals that need office space. I will work around and make sure that we have office space available so that they can work as they need to during the latter half of June and throughout the month of July. Hopefully the project stays on time. I know I was going to reach out to Pool Group. Terry Leaser told me that they actually stopped all construction because of COVID-19 for at least 2 to 3 weeks, and that they are extremely behind right now. So I was trying to keep this on time as much as I could for that July 1st date. It just looks like we're just going to have to, because of the cost, we're just going to probably have to push that back by at least 30 days to the end of July for completion.
Okay, thank you, Chris. But it appears that we should be able to work. Thank you for working with Rod, Eric, and Chris both. Thank you for making some accommodations for Rod through the summer. And still, we appreciate, thank you, Andrew, for allowing us to be at Sunman this year and allowing us to be able to have that space for this year. Are there questions for Alex on the information that was sent out about the renovations or the timing? Alex, do you have other items that forgot about, or are you okay?
I think that does it. We're okay.
I know we still have a public comment section at the end. I'll take a look at the live chat to see if there are any questions or comments, but I'm not seeing anything on the live chat of questions or comments. I'll wait just a minute because there is a slight lag in it just to make sure nothing pops up. I don't see anything. So any board members have any comments to share? Go around. Ryan, do you have anything?
Not necessarily Rod related. I'm actually was hit with another thing from DOE yesterday with the skinny bento stuff, and just, I'm familiar with it, but with the just with the information that they're requesting, and I don't know, it's just I figured about that I haven't been privy to, so.
Okay, if there's anything, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us if there's a specific question that we might be able to help you with.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Rob, anything?
No, I'm good. I just want to tell Ryan, look on the bright side, you got someone waiting on you refilling your coffee during a meeting, so it's all good, man.
Paul?
No, whatever they say, help me.
Marcia?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Andrew?
Want to say everyone stay healthy, and I was going to nominate Ryan for while I was here. Getting rid of the work certificate requirements in the high school. He's got some 12, 13-year-old labor working at home. Take advantage of it.
Just a text play.
Brandon?
Yeah, I don't have anything, but I am interested in if Ryan can play a song on his guitar for us to end the meeting.
I did. I said
Jane?
If he plays, then we should all sing along.
You've got the high notes, Jane.
Eric?
All good.
Chris, anything you want to add?
I'm good here. Just everybody stay safe.
I know we've got another one on. I apologize. We didn't introduce. There's one more I'm missing that's on the line. Oh, Marsh is on two different ones? Okay.
Hey, Carl, real quick, I want to wish Brandon a happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Mr. Roeder, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up to you guys.
Wonderful. Well, hearing no other comments, then we will adjourn this meeting at 9:34. So everybody be safe and good luck. Have a great week. Bye.
Thanks, Carl.